Well, they may sound and even look like the Beatles, but what you're actually hearing is Liverpool Legends, an internationally acclaimed Beatles tribute band. And now you have a chance to see them live in the Quad Cities this weekend.
And joining us this morning to talk more about their upcoming show and the group's history is Marty Scott, owner of Liverpool Legends, and George Harrison, portrayer. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, everyone.
So I know this show was put together by Louise Harrison. Who was Louise and what was she like?
Louise was George's sister, his older sister, the only sister of any of the Beatles. And I met her right after George passed away, just a few months, and we became friends. And she saw me singing. She was a guest of honor at a Beatle convention. And she thought she saw something in me, and we just started this whole whirlwind of Beatle things in my life. And my life has never been the same since I've met her.
What did Louise do now to help the Beatles in the early days?
I mean, in the early days of the Beatles, she was kind of like the first promoter because she was living in the United States back in 1963 before the Beatles had any fame here. So she was taking the records around and trying to get them played. And she was probably the first person to ever get a Beatle record played in the U.S.
Wow.
Interesting. And can you tell us more about the elements of this show specifically?
Well, it's a pretty unique show. So it's all narrated by Louise on video. So it's a lot of Beatle history. It goes through all the very beginnings of the Beatles, like from when they started at the Cavern Club before they were famous, and goes on to the Ed Sullivan Show, and all through the psychedelic years. And we go through Abbey Road and Let It Be, and even do some of the solo stuff. So it's a recap of the whole Beatles career, narrated by Louise Harrison. It's a really different take on a Beatles show.
Pretty neat. Now, how do you like being on the road touring after playing at Branson since 2005?
The show's been running a long time. Now we're only playing like 1 month out of the year in Branson. We're doing the month of June, but the rest of the time we've been touring all over the world. We've been, I think, on every continent these days. We're about to go to Mexico City in a couple weeks and play in front of like 20,000 people at the most prestigious venue in all of Mexico. So we've done a lot of really cool things.
Now you guys
with this band.
Sorry to cut you off, but you guys also played at Carnegie Hall. What was that like? And have you guys played at other iconic venues? What was your favorite?
I mean, Carnegie Hall was probably up there. That was the one where my grandfather finally took notice, and he was like, "Wow, you guys are doing okay.
You're doing something with your life, yeah."
Yeah, I mean, it was, that has a lot of history, obviously. Anybody wants to play Carnegie Hall, and the Beatles actually played there right after the Ed Sullivan Show, so it had a really unique thing for us. And like I said, that was probably one of my grandfather's proudest moments anyway.
Aw, now what was it like being nominated for a Grammy?
It was crazy. That was just sort of a fluke thing that I wasn't expecting. We ended up recording the songs for this record called The Beatles Bond, where Louise was narrating this disc, and on the record they couldn't really use the Beatle song exactly because it cost too much money. So we recorded all these songs, and at first I didn't have enough time to be involved in it, but we did it, and a few months later, we got a call and saying like, "Hey, do you guys want to come to the Grammys? You got nominated." And we got to be on the red carpet and do interviews, and we were up against Betty White and Val Kilmer and Tina Fey.
Wow.
And Betty White won, but it was a really neat thing. And the coolest thing, Paul was playing there that year. So we got to visit with him again as well.
Awesome.
Once in a lifetime experiences, though.
Yeah. Have you guys ever performed in the Quad Cities before? What are you looking most forward to it?
Wait, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Are you looking forward to playing in the Quad Cities this Saturday?
Yeah, so the Adler, we did last year, the same weekend, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So it went so well. It's such a cool room. It's got such a great vibe. We just decided to do it again the same day. The weekend of Thanksgiving is such a cool thing because all the families are home, and our show is such a family show. So it was kind of perfect. It's something that I think we're going to do every year. Come to the Adler this Thanksgiving weekend.
Aww.
Awesome, Marty. Thanks for coming in and doing this Zoom for us, and we're looking forward to it. All right, again, Liverpool Legends, the complete Beatles experience will be at the Adler Theater this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. For a direct link to buy tickets, just visit our website at ourquadcities.com.